Hey there everyone, welcome back to another guitar tutorial. In today's video I'm going to show you how to play Space Song by Beach House on the acoustic guitar. And this is a classic. Beach House are a great band. They've done a lot of atmospherically ethereal songs. And although this song in particular doesn't actually have acoustic guitar in the song, it's still really cool and fun to play and still sounds great, so hopefully you'll appreciate that. And the way I'm going to show you today is going to be pretty fitting, pretty accurate to the song, to how it would sound on an acoustic guitar. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy my tutorial today and how I will show it to you. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So first things first, you'll need a capo. Pop that on the 3rd fret of your guitar and make sure you're in E standard tuning, of course. And yeah, the song's in the key of E flat major or D sharp major, whichever one you prefer. It's the same chord, same key. Yeah, so that's going to be, I guess it would be a C major relative to the capo on the 3rd fret, of course. But in this case, as I'm going to show you today, we're going to actually be playing a G over C major. So that's going to be like this. And this chord and shape is basically the exact same one I showed you in my Have You Ever Seen the Rain tutorial. So for those of you who watched that tutorial, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, you'll be familiar with this shape and chord already. But if not, that's fine. You should be able to get it down. It's not too tricky. So let's just get into it then. So yeah, so to start out, you're going to play, as I just said, G over C major. So imagine a regular C major chord here, but we're going to be playing a G over it. So normally you'd use your ring finger to play the A string on the 3rd fret to get this note here, but we're going to use our pinky instead to play this note, and then we're going to use our ring finger to play this the low E string on the 3rd fret, and that's going to be a G, and then the index and middle finger will just stay on the strings they would normally play on when you're playing a regular C major chord. They're going to stay on those strings that correspond to your, normal C major chord. So it's mainly just your ring finger and pinky that are just slightly changing around there to get this G over C major chord. A lot of ways it can be easier transition-wise too to play this and then go to like D minor or other chords or whatever. Like it can actually be easier in some ways, but yeah, this shape also is an F major 7 shape as well, so it can be easier in a lot of ways. So yeah, so that's the first chord of this first progression, and the second chord is going to be an A minor. Okay, so just play from the A string down, use your thumb to mute the low E string, of course, and second chord, third chord then. So here's the thing now, so if you want, for those of you who find playing a D minor more easier, like if you can transition to a D minor chord more, instantaneously than say a D sus2, then you can play that too. You can play a D minor if that's easier for you, because just transition wise, that's what you're familiar with, it's what you play most of the time. If you don't really play D sus2 chords that much, even though keep in mind that a D sus2 is basically just a D minor chord without your index finger. So imagine a D minor chord, take off your index finger, and you got a D sus2. That's a D sus2. Normally, of course, then you would use your thumb to mute the low E string and A string. But we're actually going to use our thumb to play the low E string on the 1st fret to get an F, and that will give us a full D sus2 sounding chord. So we're playing like a D sus2 type sounding chord, but with all the 6 strings being strummed. And that's what I think is the most fitting for this, because I feel like when you play a D minor, it just sounds a bit too bright and doesn't fit the melancholic feel and atmosphere of the, pads and synths and feel that you get from the song. So yeah, try and go for a D sus2 if you can. You should find it easier once you've, got it down, because you're just using 2 fingers really to form the chord. So again, it's a D minor without your index finger. That's the best, easiest way to think of it. A D minor chord without your index finger playing the first string on the first fret. So that's the third chord of the sequence. The last chord of this sequence now is going to be a G over E minor. So same principle as the G over C major chord, we're playing a G over an E minor chord. So it's the same finger as well. Your ring finger is going to play low E string on the third fret, and it's going to be a G. Then you're going to play with your index and middle finger and E minor. Then add your ring finger to the G here, low E string on the third fret, and you got a G over E minor. And actually, I like this chord quite a lot. I think it's quite fitting to the song. So, yeah. One of the reasons I want to know, just before we go on to the next progression now, there's only one more progression in the song, so it's not much to get down, but for the D minor, the riff that you hear in the song that goes, it's this note here. It's this like open E string here, the first string, this high E. That's the riff starts on that note, so it's playing when it's playing like, you know, in the intro, and the instrumentals in between the verses. You've got, you know, when you're playing these chords, it's ringing out with each chord that you strum. It's ringing out. But with the D minor, if you play a D minor, it's not going to ring out because you're playing an F. You're playing an F here, so relative to the capo, of course. So it's not going to ring out. But when you don't play it, it doesn't ring out, and you're still hearing this kind of first note of the riff during the section, so it just sounds more fitting for me. And then of course going to then a G over E minor, it rings out as well with this chord. So that's kind of the main reasoning for going for a D sus2. It just, because you get more of a feel and you're playing that riff note string, which is the E. So yeah, but again, playing a D minor is fine, but I just wanted to point that out, just, you know, so you get a better idea of why we're going for a D sus2. So yeah, that's the first section then, and then that'll basically get you through now the intro, the verses, and the instrumentals in between, all the way up until like the chorus kind of section, which we'll get to now. But so you've got, it was late at night, you held on tight, from an empty street, a flash of light. And now we lead into the next progression. It now leads into the next progression. It'll play like an instrumental first, and then of course the melody will come back in and the vocals will come back in. So yeah, so for this progression now, the second progression, we're not going to play it like in the song. It kind of like, you hear it like this. It's kind of like, it's going to go like that kind of thing, but we're not going to actually play it like that. We're going to just stick with the regular strumming pattern, which by the way is kind of like this. You're just going to go. Like that kind of thing. Like, it doesn't matter if it's not 100% always like, you know, repetitively the same pattern wise, or if you like, you know, do some, you know, mixed strumming and like, you know, just mix it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be 100% exactly like the same pattern like the entire time, but it's generally like that kind of speed and tempo. So yeah, so you've got the G over C, C major. So you've got, then you're gonna go to this G over E minor. So just leave your ring finger on the low E string and then just form the E minor chord. So the G over E minor, the second progression. Then for the full, when it's full back into place, you've got A minor, oh, then back to the G over E minor, back, and then to the D sus2, while playing all the strings. Of course, use your thumb. If you can't use your thumb to, you know, play the low E string on the first fret to get the F, then just use it to mute the low E string, and then just play, try and aim for the D then, or use it to mute the E and A string, and just play from the D down, and then the last chord now, which is the last chord we're introducing, the last unique chord we haven't played yet, which is going to be an F after that. And of course, I'm playing all the strings, but you know, if you can't do that, then doing this, if you can't like play all the chords, then that works too. You know, to make it easier, if you want to go, that's fine. But I'm gonna play it like that. But if you want to make it easier for yourself and just play, yeah. I usually play it this way, so it's kind of bit more confusing for me because I never play F this way, but just to like make it more simplified for you, for those who might find it easier, if you want to just do like a C kind of shape and then just use your of course index to bar the B and the E string, the B and the high E on the first fret, and then just use your thumb to mute like the E and A string, and that's fine too. Play from like the D string down, but that works fine too if that makes it easier for you. But if you can, try and go for full F major. Use your thumb to play the F, of course, and then just play like this F major 7 shape, and then use your index, of course, to bar the B and the E string on the first fret. And that'll be the final chord of the second progression, and then the to place, and then when she sings place, you'll go back to the G over C major chord again. So again, we'll go over that again now. So you've got okay. Fall back into place, like that. Fall back into. So you'll play that twice, then the riff will come back in there, and you'll go for the instrumental again. We'll play it twice, then the instrumental will come in, and then you'll go into then the next verse, and then so on. So the first progression gets you through again the intro, the verses, and the instrumentals in between, and then the second progression gets you through like the chorus bit on the fall back into place. It'll get you through all those sections and the outro as well. Like basically the song finishes with the chorus chord progression. Same chronology. You'll just play the same order, and the outro will just fade out playing the second progressions chords in the same order. So you've got like that. E over A minor, G over E minor, D sus2, F major, G over C major, G over E minor, A minor, G over E minor, D sus2, F major, back to G over C major. Back into the first progression again. Whenever you hear the riff like this. Tender is the night, working hard. And then so on. So basically, yeah. So the only time you're really playing the second progression of chords when the riff comes in is in like the outro of the song, when all the instruments start coming in again, and you get all this like different sound dynamically building up and coming in. The way this song is structurally is just really brilliantly done. But towards the end of the song, the riff will come in again, but you'll still keep playing the second progression of chords. So you go and then I'll just do this and fade out. Fall back into place. And I'll just keep doing that, keep playing the same chords in that same order, the second progression, and you'll do that until the song will just fade out then. And I guess you can finish on you can either finish on this G over C major, or you can finish on the G over E minor, whichever one you prefer, but yeah. Because obviously you can't really fade out with the guitar, you got to finish on some chord. So yeah, finish on one of those chords and that will basically do it for you. But yeah, that's it basically. So the easiest way to think of it is the first progression, again, gets you through the intro and the verses, right? And then second progression gets you through like the chorus and the outro. And of course, the instrumentals in between for the riff is going to be the first progression as well. But yeah, for the most of the song, in the first half he'll be playing like the first progression more. Then from the second half, he'll just be playing the second progression until it fades out then from the chorus, basically. After first few verses, I believe. So yeah, just have fun with that and keep working on it. Feel free to pause, rewind, make sure, you know, you got your own pace, got your own comfortable speed. Don't want this to be discouraging, so make sure that you can get this down. But I do think this is, you know, probably, you know, I found the most fitting and accurate way to play it on the acoustic guitar like this. So yeah, that is Space Song, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed watching. You know, don't be discouraged or anything. Just keep working at it, and you will get it down. It will be worth your while once you can be playing this. And yeah, another great song. A lot of songs that don't have acoustic guitar in them end up sounding great on the acoustic guitar, and that's a great thing about songs that great songs, whether it does or doesn't have an acoustic guitar or a certain instrument in the song. If it's has a great foundation, it's going to sound great either way. So yeah, that's one of these songs. So hopefully, yeah, you'll enjoy learning the song today. And of course, I will see you on my next tutorial. Until then, have a nice day.